the agenda that Donald Trump is pushing is terrible for Connecticut. He's trying to tear this country apart, trying to tell us that immigrants are a threat to this nation. He's trying to rip health care away from thousands of people here in Connecticut. He passed a tax bill that will dramatically increase taxes on many middle-class families here in Connecticut in order to pay for a big tax cut for billionaires and corporations. And I am asking to go back to Washington for a second term so that I can fight that agenda, but so I can also try to fight for good jobs, higher wages, and better health care. So the Affordable Care Act has been a lifesaver for us in Connecticut. We've insured about 200,000 people through the Affordable Care Act, and now no one in Connecticut will lose their insurance just because they get sick. People with pre-existing conditions now have the confidence that they will have insurance even when they get really, really sick. Donald Trump wants to repeal the Affordable Care Act. That means that hundreds of thousands of people in Connecticut would lose their insurance, Medicaid coverage would disappear for thousands of Connecticut residents, and insurance companies would be put back in charge of your health care. If you got sick, they could kick you off your health care, or if you got a new job and you had a child who is sick, they could deny you health care. We don't want to go back to those days. Now, I think we should continue to fix our healthcare system. For instance, I think the drug companies are charging way too much money for the drugs that we're buying, but I don't want to go back to the days before the Affordable Care Act when 20 million Americans didn't have health care that have it now. Republicans, both in Hartford and in Washington, they tend to believe that government should help the powerful. I don't believe that. Democrats don't believe that. We believe that government should help people who don't naturally have power, who don't have lobbyists, who don't have political action committees. I think the government should stand up for the little guy, the people who are working all day long, who are just able to make ends meet. And the fundamental difference today between Republicans and Democrats is that Republicans want to help corporations and billionaires. They see immigration as a weakness to this country. Democrats want to stand up for average Americans, for people that are working paycheck to paycheck, and we see immigration as a strength for this country. We want to welcome people to this country from wherever they come because we know that immigrants make this country a stronger, better place. I know that when you watch politics on TV these days, when you watch President Trump, you get very discouraged. But President Trump wants you to stay home. He doesn't want you to vote. He wants there to be a very low turnout this election so that the corporations and the powerful special interests stay in charge of our government. The only way we take back our government for our values, for Connecticut values, is to turn out and vote. It's not that hard. All day on November 6th, polling places are open from 6 in the morning to 8 at night. Even if you're not registered, you can register that day. You can go down to your polling place and register on Election Day. So it's never too late to sign up to vote. More important now than ever that people vote to send President Trump a message that the way that he's trying to divide us from each other is not acceptable.